This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Radar, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with Danielle Pinnock, who is on the fantastic CBS comedy Ghosts. How are you today, Danielle?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. This show, I really like this show. I started it and then I was too busy, didn't keep going with it. And then a few months later, I was like, let's go back into it. And I'm really, really glad I did. It's a nice, light piece of entertainment that really has a little more substantial drama than I might have expected.
Yes, it's definitely a show that is fun for the whole family, and I'm so glad that audiences are so receptive towards it. It just means the world to all of us.
Had you seen the British show or heard of it before you did this?
Oh, without question. And I am so grateful for them for laying such an excellent format for us to just, follow their lead to. And the UK version is truly fantastic.
How do you think that the two shows differ?
Well, definitely, I would have to say, the American version has found their own swag, which I love. I can speak to Alberta's fan, which is one of probably the episode where I was able to spread my wings as an actor for the first time. And I think for me, that was a watershed episode in the very beginning of the series because it was the first time that we really explored race. And, Alberta, she's a 1920s Prohibition era ghost, and yes, she is fabulous and truly a hot mess with a heart of gold and super brassy. But she dealt with some really real things racially in the 1920s coming up as an artist and also her father as well too. And I think that was an episode for me that was so special not only to play as an actor, but I think it did start to differentiate us from the UK version.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing because there are definitely some stereotypes that are used in this show. Just with Thor and Sasabi, is just the idea
Yes.
these people that look very much like walking stereotypes, but I don't think that they're. I think we learn a little bit more about them, and that's really nice to see.
Absolutely. We are all just, so much deeper than we come off as. And I love that in the season we begin to peel the layers back because of really Sam and Jay being in the house. We've been together for centuries, the ghosts. But Sam and Jay, they really do breathe life into us. And I think the onions layers start to peel off and we get to learn a little bit more about these people, their fears, even in death, their fears, and their hopes and dreams that they still hope to attain.
Yeah. And what is it like shooting the scenes with Jay? Like, you just shoot the scene, he's not there, and you just do it exactly again, and he's there?
Well, first of all, Ukarsh is a magnificent Jay, and I was such a huge fan of his when he got there, and I was like trying my best not to fangirl because I was like, oh my god, I love Ukarsh, and like I love his hip hop and everything. And I guess for a lot of the ghosts, we're just trying to make him laugh because he's not supposed to see us. So in between takes, we're always kind of doing goofy things, and he's like, guys, I can't see y'all, I can't react to that. But working with him and Rose McIver has been such a dream come true. They lead this cast with such grace and excellence that it just makes us want to be better as well too.
That's great. And who do you think, if you were, a ghost haunting this or haunting, whatever, living this, who would you want to most be around? Which of the characters?
Oh, I would definitely have to say Flower, played just expertly by Sheila Carrasco. Flower is such a good time. Sis is constantly on her own little trip of life. And working with Sheila has been such a joy. She's also like one of my besties in the cast. She's also from Chicago, which I spent a little time in Chicago as well too. And just being able to work with her is such a dream. And I'm also going to throw in Brandon Scott Jones because they've established this really great toxic bestie relationship between Alberta and Isaac. They're both incredibly vain human beings. And I love being able to play with Brandon Scott Jones. His Isaac is truly unmatched.
Yeah, he's great. I very often ask actors, who from the cast they don't get to share scenes with they'd really like to, but I'm not sure that's applicable here because I feel like even if we haven't seen it yet, there's going to be some point like Alberta's going to get to talk
Yeah.
to everyone, which is a really sort of unique thing I think about this ensemble.
Yeah, I'm also gonna just pitch. I would love to share more scenes with Ramon. Sasapis is so shady, and I love he's just like a little minx, like creating all this stuff with Alberta in her head and trying to make her feel bad for it. And like, I just think he's so funny, and his deadpan comedy is just incredible. And I would love more scenes with Ramon without question.
That's great. And did you know about the Alberta's fan episode when you first signed on, or did that come later?
I had no idea, so it was a great surprise to know that we were going to find out more about her life. And I was like, "Oh, great! A fan is going to come." Who knew that that episode would end in toenail clippings and a tattoo on the back? But I mean, that's just such a testament to Joe Port and Joe Wiseman. Like, you never know what you're going to expect in an episode, and week to week, it's all fresh for us. So playing that episode was just a dream come true for me.
Oh, wonderful. And I'm very happy that the show has been renewed for a second season. I know that as we're talking now, there are still a few episodes of season one left to air. Do you have any sense of what's in store for season two? Is there another Alberta episode, another episode for each character coming?
Listen, who knows what's going to happen for season two, but my hopes and dreams is that for Alberta, we do get to see a proper flashback episode into the 1920s. I want to see Alberta Haynes in that club singing. I want to see who her bootlegger boyfriends were and all the foolishness that she was probably getting into back in the day. And I would just love to see what the Harlem Renaissance looks like. It is like a dream to go back in time as an actor. And I would also love to explore what happens with her relationship with Pete, played just incredibly by Richie Moriarty. Alberta's used to being with bad boys. She's with all these bootleggers and these possible murderers in the 20s. And to be with such a nice Boy Scout like Pete, I mean, it's just like, who knows what kind of shenanigans they're going to get into for season two.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. And you have, of course, done a lot of TV before this. You have a lot of different, guest starring roles and everything. How do you think this show differs from the previous projects that you've done?
Well, you know what? The thing is, I have always been used to playing, occupationally driven roles. So I never really had the fun, to, stretch my actor wings in this way. Alberta is definitely more confident than I am, and she says what's on her mind. I am a homebody through and through. Like, I love a good reality TV show with my boom chicka pop. Like, that's me. And Alberta is like just way, way more out there than I am. And I think she differentiates from the roles that I played before because I don't think I've ever played a character this, loud and brassy and full of herself ever. When I think about Miss Ingram from Young Sheldon, she was tired. Sheldon was just like smarter than everybody in all the faculty. And she was just like exhausted. She's like, gosh, can I do anything right? Which is also so equally fun to play because Ian Armitage is just I always call him my little baby master class. Like working with him, truly one of my favorite team partners of all time. So they've all been really cool and different and fun, but I think Alberta, I have to say, is probably one of my favorites.
That's great. And I know you've also done some voiceover work. What are the advantages and challenges of doing that kind of work?
Oh my gosh, I love voiceover. Animation is it's just, I mean, my second love without question. I think the great thing about animation and voiceover is like it doesn't matter what you look like. I think a lot of times as a plus size black woman, I get stereotyped into these, sassy black receptionist or, the disgruntled truck driver. In animation, I can play a superhero. You know what I mean? I've played a laundry monster, whatever that means in animation before. So it really truly, it's like giving you that kid-like pleasure into like using your full imagination. You can do whatever you want in animation, and I love it so, so much. It's just boundaryless.
And I know also that you have some projects coming up that you're involved on the creative side of. Can you share something about those?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm working on an animation right now called Unmentionables with Poonam Patel, who is just I am a huge fan of Poonam. She's also a bestie of mine. We came from Second City together, and we're both career actresses, and we were like, you know what, we want to brainstorm in the pandemic and try to figure out a project for us to work on. So it follows a ragtag group of undergarments. It is literally Toy Story in an underwear drawer. And Taraji P. Henson and Anthony Hemingway Productions have signed on to EP the project, and we are so thrilled. And so it's uh, like I keep saying this is a dream come true, but truly to work with Taraji and Anthony has just been, I mean, incredible. These are people that have been on my vision board forever. So like to just be able to workshop with them has just it's been a dream come true.
So we've talked about all these projects that you're involved in, but what else are you watching? What do you like to enjoy in your spare time?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm definitely watching a ton of reality TV. I mean, I'm like a reality TV girl through and through. Love it or list it. Like any kind of home renovation show, I'm down for. I think also I'm living through these people because prices are so expensive for real estate. So I'm like, yeah, let's get the $3.5 million home. Love it. Because that's not my reality. I'm in Van Nuys in like a 1 bedroom apartment. So I love a good home renovation show. Anything with before and afters, I'm obsessed with. I'm watching Bridgerton currently, which I'm a huge fan of, and actually became viral from in the season 1, just doing a lot of sketches based on their whole series in these little 15-second segments. So I was like, let me do that for season 2. So I'm gearing up for that. But yeah, those are the main things that I'm watching. Oh, and also Severance, which is incredible.
Oh yeah, I was wondering to see like what with Severance characters on Ghost, like how would that work? I think that
Oh
would
my
be.
gosh, can you imagine if the Severance characters came to the Airbnb? Like it would just be wild.
I
It
think
would be
I
wild.
think I think I'd love to know that Ghost exists like in the shared universe with all these things that like all these times. It's not like the House from American Horror Story or anything like that. Because you because I do think that I know I watched Shining Veil. I'm not sure if you've seen that
Yeah,
one, and
yeah,
that's like what Ghosts would be if it was actually like
yeah.
jump scenes and scary. And so it's important to note that this is, I think, first and foremost a comedy, and then it's also got that like you know.
Oh yeah, without question. I mean, I'm just curious to see who are the ghosts in the Severance office. My gosh, at Lumen, can you imagine? I'm scared of those ghosts. I think they're scary.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to talk about that show and this show. And again, it's really been such a pleasure to meet you, Danielle, and speak with you. And I can't wait to see what's next for Alberta and for you.
Yes, thank you so much for having me today. I had so much fun.
You too. Thanks so much. Thank you, Danielle. This is really wonderful.